The Witcher, Blood Origins. It's terrible, watch Andor instead. But where did I leave off last time? I was talking about Lenny Henry being the destroyer of franchises. So, what has evil wizard Lenny Henry been up to? Lenny has been up to something. He was behind the attempt on the king's life and is using dark magic to seize power. Meanwhile, the Lark is talking to the girl that she saved in the pub, and she tells her that she learnt to fight with the Raven clan that guard the royals of the kingdom of Prussia. And stone me, the girl knows her mom. And get used to it, because in true Mary Sue fashion, everybody in every kingdom somehow seems to know this cacophonic tavern crooner and her god-awful songs. The young girl asks, "Do you know Lady Kethlin of the Knives?" And Lark says, yes, that's apparently her mater. And that's all we get to know about any of these things. Her mum, the Raven clan, and during the conversation, guards arrive to arrest the Lark for stabbing all those guys earlier, and she's thrown in jail, where she meets Fjoll Stoneheart, who's already there, and I'm now wildly confused where any of these events fit in a timeline. So the Lark and Fjoll have a fight, because their clans are apparently old enemies. Fjoll then gets bailed out, and the Lark breaks out using a pendant that she stole from him during their fight. Then Fjoll and the Lark both get visitors from home who want them to go back for the peace treaty signing in case anything goes wrong. But Fjoll tells his cousin that he isn't going back, and why would his father even ask him? So he can come back and attend the wedding in person of the princess he was screwing. Yes, makes perfect sense. I'm sure the groom will be overjoyed. Just no thought went into this series. The Lark also says no to her sister who wants her to go back, but relents after the girl she saved in the tavern, who's a prophet, tells her about her future and how it lies back in Sintra. On the way to the boat, the Lark's sister is killed after being shot with arrows, and the Lark is attacked by men in masks, and I couldn't have cared less when the sister died. She only had a few minutes of screen time at best, and I knew nothing about her. And what is this ambush? Somebody has 2 free shots against still targets, and they shoot the sister twice instead of each of them once. Or they could have had more than one bowman, maybe 10 bowmen, and shot each of them 10 times before they could react. So the Lark instead kills the one archer with throwing knives and then tells the rest to come out, and I'm not sure how she even knew they were there, but she did. And maybe 10 of them slowly filed out, and they've got us surrounded. That doesn't matter, they all get killed by the Lark with some help from Fjoll, who's come wanting his pendant back that she stole earlier. After the fight, Fjoll and the Lark check the bodies and find out that they're all military, a mixture of Zintran, Prussian and Darwinish, so all of the militaries that are involved in the peace talks, and how convenient they came essentially with monogrammed weapons. It makes no sense, says the Lark, and no, it doesn't. So from this, they conclude that the military are trying to stop clan members from making it to the talks because the military wants to seize power. And this makes no sense because I know what happens next. At the treaty signing, the clan members at the signing get massacred. All of them. So why would the military be trying to keep clan members away from a massacre when they want them all dead? None of this even makes the slightest sense. And why would Fjoll and the Lark assume the people were there to kill them? Fjoll wasn't even there when the ambush happened. So why would they think that the killers were there for him? And the Lark was there, but they ignored her and targeted her sister first instead. So the natural conclusion would be, why did these people come here to kill my sister? Why did they do any of this? All of these and many other vital questions will never be answered in this show. It's like this was written by a child. So the peace treaty is being signed, and it's a betrayal. The princess excuses herself from the area and the doors are barred. The conspirators also excuse themselves and Lenny Henry conjures up a bad CGI hellbeast to kill everyone, while the princess slits the throat of Fionl's sister. So now the three countries are one and being led by the princess, now Empress, Lenny Henry and the leader of the Zintran army, Eredin, and boy are they going to screw him up. He's a big part of the story after this series going forward, and they've ruined him. This is the guy who's supposed to lead the Wild Hunt. He's supposed to be the Witcher's Darth Vader character, and now he isn't scary at all. Instead, he's now a very effeminate, gay elf twink. So Fionl and the Lark get on a ship to try and head back home, stopping at a city called Gale, where they find out that the princess has taken power and is now Empress of all three kingdoms, and they vow to get their revenge. And it's a bit like if you found out inside the Darth Vader suit was Loris Tyrell from Game of Thrones. Meanwhile, Fionl and the Lark need help. So they seek out the Lark's teacher, Xian, played by Michelle Yeoh. And she deserves to be in something so much better than this. I used to love her early Hong Kong martial arts flicks. Along the way, to find her, they meet some refugees. The new empire is apparently burning down cities of those that refuse to join them. And the Lark is immediately recognised by the refugees. Everybody knows her music and loves her, and they start singing her songs, and this is insufferable. Eventually they find Michelle Yeoh, somehow in the middle of a desert, and don't ask how. The show never tells you, it's rubbish. Lenny Henry, meanwhile, is making a deal with some kind of mystical entity in another plane for more black magic. He wants chaos magic. Again, something that's never defined in the show. So you would have had to watch The Witcher to understand what's going on in this scene. Meanwhile, Michelle Yeoh is talking to Fionl and Lark, and she asks Lark, "The new Empress wants you dead. Why have you come? And how does Sienna know that the new Empress wants her dead? She lives in a tent, alone, in the middle of a desert." Sienna also has a grudge against Sintra. Her group, the Ghost Tribe, were all poisoned by the Sintrans, and the Sintrans still possess the legendary sword of her people. So after a short fight, where Sienna makes Fjord and Lark look rubbish, she decides to go with them and help. So that's it for episode 1, and what a catastrophe. I've already watched all 4 episodes, and if anything, it only gets worse from here.
Could you make me a cup of tea, please, Stephanie?